It's week 5 of the 2025 college football season, and today we're making picks and predictions against the number on the 10 biggest games of the weekend. Welcome in. It's Winning Cures Everything, a college football podcast. I'm your host, Gary Seegers, at GaryWCE on all the different socials. Hopefully, you're having a good week wherever you are, or at least a good start to your week. We are into week 5 already. That's right. The college football season is spinning right along. It feels like we still don't know a ton about some of these teams. We're going to figure out a lot this weekend. We have got monster matchups. And we're not going to spend long before we get into the games, but let me go ahead and tell you, here is what our record is thus far. And by our, I mean mine, because this is a one-man operation. A one-man show, if you will. On the 10 best games videos, I am 19, 20, and 1 against the spread overall. I went 5-5 last week in week 4. In the 20 more games, because we do another video where I go over very quickly 20 more games and tell you which way I would go on those. Went 12-8 again last week. That puts me at 48-32 against the spread for the season on that. Combined overall, I make 30 picks during the week on this show. I am 67, 52, and 1 against the spread. That is 56.3% against the number. Now, if you want to go over to bettingcfb.com or buymeacoffee.com/winningcures, went 8-4 on my official plays over there, up 4.6 units thus far on the season. That is a 12% return on investment. Doing pretty well. And you get these nifty stat sheets. So let's not waste too much more time. Let's get to the games. Game number 1, and we are starting in the Big Ten. We're going to Saturday night, 6:30 p.m. Central Time, God's time zone, on NBC. Oregon is taking on Penn State. Penn State currently a 3.5-point home favorite, total of 52.5. And that's right, the Nittany Lions have got a whiteout for maybe the biggest home game of the season. I think that's what I would constitute this one. I mean, this is going to tell us everything about Penn State this year. This is what we have wanted to know about this team. Penn State is coming off of a bye. Oregon, of course, had to deal with Oregon State last week at home. So Oregon flew out to the East Coast, flew back to the West Coast. Now they are back to the East Coast again. It's the first regular season meeting between these two since 1964. Oregon, they beat Penn State just last season, 45-37 in the Big Ten championship game. Penn State had 518 total yards in that. That was the best their offense looked the entire season, was in that one game. Since 2014, Oregon 11-5 against the spread against ranked teams on the road. Penn State is 3-0 against the spread off of the last 3 bye weeks in the past 3 seasons. The total on this game is 52.5. That is 30 points lower than the last year, or than the total from last year's game. Pretty wild to see it drop that low, but when you look at it, I mean, these are two really good defenses. Oregon is top 30. Penn State, I mean, the number 2 overall defense, number 8 defensive success rate. Let's look at the stats. Number 8 in defensive success rate for Penn State. Number 3 against the pass, number 25 against the rush. For Oregon, number 4 in offensive success rate, number 5 pass, number 4 rush. And then Oregon's defense. Number 23 defensive success rate, number 12 against the pass, but number 47 against the rush. That's not great. For Penn State, they are number 22 offensive success rate, number 78 passing, so not great, and number 22 rushing. PPA margin, Oregon number 4, Penn State number 9. We still don't know very much about these teams at all. Neither team has played a very difficult schedule whatsoever. Penn State, the number 134 current strength of schedule. Oregon, number 98. So Oregon has at least faced some teams with names, Oklahoma State, Oregon State, etc., but those teams are shells of what they used to be. Penn State has played literally nobody. They have shown nothing. They are just vanilla as vanilla can get. So what should we expect here? When you look at the stats for Penn State, yes, they can run the ball, Like that's a big part of this. They're number 54 in rushing explosiveness, number 17 in offensive line yards. Oregon's defense is number 40 in offensive line yards allowed. Penn State number 1 in stuff rate. Oregon number 88 in stuff rate. I think Penn State's going to be able to run the ball. They were able to do it last year, and by running the football, that opened up the passing attack for Drew Aller, and he certainly should have more weapons this year than he did last year. But you start looking at, guys like Wallace that were on the team last year, what he's been able to do at Ole Miss this year, it seems like they kind of had weapons last year. They just didn't know how to use it or get them the football. Looking on the other side of the ball, Oregon, really good at running the football. Number 1 in PPA per rush. That's predicted points added for those that are not familiar. Penn State is number 6 in PPA allowed per rush. You're looking at number 7 in yards per rush for Oregon's offense, number 22 in yards per rush allowed for Oregon's defense. Turnover margin, Penn State is number 1 in the country. Oregon is number 20. They don't give the ball away very much, but Oregon doesn't take the ball away very much. Again, neither team has really played anybody, so what do we... I don't know exactly what to make of that. When you look at, the one weakness for Oregon's defense, it's defensive red zone touchdown rate. They're number 109 at 75%. Well, Penn State hadn't been great at that even against nobodies. Number 88 in offensive red zone touchdown rate. That's 58.82%. It's not great. Not great. You start trying to do matchups as far as position battles, etc. These are two pretty evenly matched teams. The only weakness looks like it might be Oregon's defensive line, but I've seen those dudes. They don't have a ton of experience, but they got the talent to be able to show up in a game like this. Penn State number 9 in overall talent rank. Oregon number 7. Special teams efficiency, Oregon is better in that position. As far as net explosiveness, Penn State number 36, Oregon number 38. Oregon, they've been playing pretty slow, number 97 in plays per minute. Penn State is number 46, so there's been a bit of a tempo adjustment for Penn State. Curious if they're going to try and speed things up here with Kotelnicki's offense. I'm going to have to go with the numbers here. Now, my total on this is 72 or almost 73. I'm going to go with an over, but if I'm getting 3.5, this thing was at 6.5. It's already been bet down to 3.5. I'm going to keep that rolling. Give me Oregon plus 3.5. I need Penn State to prove to me that they can win a big game like this. It's a night game. It's a whiteout. I may be foolish for going this direction, but I think this is going to be a tight game. I'll take the Ducks. Give me the Ducks plus 3.5. Game number 2, and we move down to the SEC. Alabama goes to Athens to take on the Georgia Bulldogs. Georgia currently a 3-point favorite, total of 53.5 on this. 6:30 p.m. Central Time, same time as Penn State, Oregon. This one on ABC, though. Bama won 41-34 in Tuscaloosa last year. It was an instant classic, absolute barn burner of a game. This is the first meeting in Athens since 2015. 7 of the past 13 meetings have been outright upsets for the underdog. Georgia has a 33-game home winning streak right now. Bama, though, 9-1 straight up in their last 10 against Georgia. It has not been good on the road for Alabama. 1-5 against the spread their last 6 away from home. DeBoer, though, Kalen DeBoer, 9-2 against the spread, 8-3 straight up as an underdog, as an FBS coach. So he's not in this role a lot, but when he is, he certainly delivers. Both of these teams coming off of a bye week. Let's look at some numbers. My number has Georgia winning this thing 34.5 to a little more than 31. That would be an over, by the way, so a total of 53.5 on this. And, yeah, that number has come down, by the way. Georgia opened a 3.5-point favorite. It's 3 and maybe 2.5 at some spots. I think this thing is I think this total is going to go up. I think it's going to get up to 55 at some point. My projected total is 60, almost 66. You saw what Georgia and Tennessee did. If Alabama wants to be able to hang in this game, they are going to have to score quite a bit. Their defense has not been good thus far, and let me take that back. The defense has been good against everybody but Florida State. And Georgia certainly has an offensive line that is on par with Florida State. We'll say that. Georgia, number 30 in offensive line yards running the ball. Alabama, number 107 in offensive line yards allowed. As far as stuff rate, Georgia is 60 in stuff rate allowed. Alabama, number 109 in stuff rate. So the defensive line has not been very good for Alabama. Teams are running the ball 66% of the time on Bama. PPA per rush, Alabama, number 95 on defense. Georgia, number 47. As far as throwing the ball, Georgia, not great. Not great by any stretch. Number 44 in predicted points added per pass. Bama's defense, number 75 in that spot. Georgia is not explosive throwing the ball. They're not explosive running the ball. They're just not explosive at all. Alabama can be explosive. Number 22 in offensive explosiveness for the Tide. Georgia, number 133 in offensive explosiveness. But you saw against Tennessee, it's there when they have to have it. They didn't show very much in the first two games that they played. Georgia 3-0. They are 0-2-1 against the spread. Alabama 2-1 straight up, 2-1 against the spread so far this season. Bama much better in the first half, it looks like. Second half, number 18. We're talking margin here. 5 factors rank. Georgia, number 16 in raw 5 factors. Alabama, 21. 5 factors plus talent. Alabama, number 18. Georgia is number 6. So there's a huge difference in those two right there. Turnover margin, Georgia's number 89. Alabama's number 1. Bama's number 1 in giveaways per game. They don't turn the ball over. Number 9 in takeaways per game. That is something that could certainly help in a game like this. Pace of play, Georgia is up at number 59. Alabama all the way back at number 102. They don't go very fast, which is totally fine. Ty Simpson has looked significantly better in the 2 home games than he did on the road in his first start against Florida State. I don't know how much these numbers necessarily mean. We saw Alabama get absolutely curb stomped on the road by Florida State. That was a Gus Malzahn offense. Georgia certainly, with Mike Bobo, going to take some things away, or going to take some things from that Gus Malzahn showing. I'm curious. I'm gonna trust the number here. I've got Georgia by 3.39. I can get a Georgia minus 2.5. It feels like Kirby Smart is wanting to do everything he can to get that monkey off his back. This one is at home. I expect them to come out like gangbusters here, and I've already seen that I can't really trust Alabama to be able to stop the run. I think Georgia's going to be able to run it. I think Georgia's defense will be able to slow down Ty Simpson on the road. Give me Georgia. I think they finally get it done. Finally get it done. They got it done one time in a national championship game. Other than that, it's been all Alabama at 9 out of the past 10 meetings. We know Bama doesn't play well on the road. Give me Georgia. Georgia minus 2.5 on Saturday night. Are you tired of sore knees or joints slowing you down? Go Sleeves uses built-in kinesiology tape technology to give you support, reduce pain, and help you recover faster. Use code WCE for 15% off over at GoSleeves.com. Game number 3, and we will stay in the SEC. LSU traveling to Oxford to take on Ole Miss. LSU looked like they had some good wins to start off the season. At Clemson, hosting Florida, these seemed like they would be pretty good. Both of those teams have a combined 2 wins on the season, and we are entering into week 5. So those have not exactly played out that well, although the strength of schedule would certainly tell you that LSU has done pretty well. Ole Miss, current strength of schedule number 43, they just destroyed Tulane last week. This one, 2:30 p.m. Central Time on ABC, and Ole Miss is a 1.5-point favorite, total of 55.5. That total has gone up a little bit, opened at 54.5, looks like, or at least when I did the sheet here, as you can see right there. Let's go over some trends. LSU won last year 29-26 at home. They had a touchdown with 27 seconds left that sent it to overtime. They never led the game in regulation. Ole Miss should have had that thing handled. Didn't. Any one of those 3 losses that Ole Miss had, probably, you flip it, and they probably would have been in the playoff last year. The home team has won the last 5 straight in this series, and yeah, they have covered 7 of the last 11. It's pretty wild. 6 of the last 8 have gone over the total. That's why you see the number move on that. Ole Miss has covered the last 3 at home. Brian Kelly, 47-26-2 against the spread as an underdog in his career. That's a pretty good number. 47-26-2. Let's look at some stats on this. We've got basically strength on strength and weakness on weakness here. The Ole Miss offense against this LSU defense, which Blake Baker has done a fantastic job with this defense thus far. Number 11 in predicted points added allowed per drive. They are number 37 in defensive success rate allowed, number 37 against the pass, 58 against the rush. The Ole Miss offense is number 11 in success rate, number 10 passing, number 21 rushing. They are number 16 in predicted points added per drive on offense. So they are moving right along, doing their thing. Defensive success rate for Ole Miss, they are number 75 in success rate allowed. Really good against the pass, number 24. Number 117 against the rush. That is the issue for LSU. They are pretty good passing the ball, number 32 in passing success rate, but number 109 in rushing success rate. And now they have got a running back that is injured and probably out for this game. They said that he's going to be light on practice. We'll see exactly what happens with him throughout this week. But number 79 in offensive success rate for LSU. Looking at some of the intangibles, some of the simple things, Ole Miss, number 99 in turnover margin. They are number 70 in giveaways per game, number 104 in takeaways, so they're not very good at taking the ball, and they give it up too much. Number 43 in turnover margin for LSU. LSU, number 99 in penalties per game. Ole Miss, number 71. So both teams not very good as far as the discipline things, right? So that automatically makes this game kind of a crapshoot. Ole Miss, surprisingly, number 86 in net explosiveness. LSU is number 33. Biggest part of that is the fact that they are number 15 in explosiveness allowed. Ole Miss, not super explosive, and they do give up some big plays. We'll see exactly what that means in a game like this. I mean, it could just be that Kiffin is holding out some things for their biggest game of the season thus far. But they've got to win over Arkansas. They've got to win over Kentucky. They were able to score enough points to win both of those games because they did give up points in both. Looking at point margin, Ole Miss number 21 in first half point margin, number 59 for LSU. Number 8 for second half point margin for Ole Miss at 14.8 point margin in the second half, and LSU number 24 with a point margin of 9 in the second half. 5 factors rank, LSU is a little bit better. Number 10 in 5 factors plus talent. Ole Miss is number 11 in raw 5 factors. LSU number 17. Ole Miss number 19. You can see right here, this Ole Miss defense, number 129 in PPA allowed per rush. But LSU is number 95. Like, neither one of these teams can do anything. Stuff rate, the LSU offense isn't good. Ole Miss isn't good. Who is going to be able to do anything in this spot? Ole Miss, their LSU has figured out, like, all right, we're not good at this. We're not gonna do it very much. They only run the ball 43.6% of the time. But teams are running the ball almost 55% of the time on Ole Miss's defense. That's how they're able to get yardage. So, what are we looking for? The fact that LSU can't run, but they also are not great at throwing it. Like, their passing success rate is number 32, but PPA per pass is number 82. And that's a bit of a problem. They're number 107 in havoc rate allowed. Well, Ole Miss doesn't generate a whole lot of havoc. Passing downs rate, they're not in that position very often, but they are pretty successful on passing downs. So I think that this Ole Miss offense is going to, if you really look at the offenses that LSU has been good against, again, Clemson, Florida, neither one of those offenses can do the things that Ole Miss can, regardless of who's playing quarterback, whether it's Austin Simmons or Trinidad Chambliss. it doesn't matter. And at the same time, Ole Miss, they have faced Green, the quarterback from Arkansas. Aside from that, with Tulane, you had Jake Retzlaff and you had Brendan Sullivan. Neither of them did anything worth a damn at all. Garrett Nussmeier is going to be able to make some throws that Ole Miss has not seen yet. Even still, I'm going to trust the number here. Yes, LSU opened as a favorite. It quickly flipped, and Ole Miss became the 1.5-point favorite. I've got Ole Miss by 7 as far as projected stat spread. My power rating has Ole Miss by almost 6. My total is pretty close to it here. If I've got Ole Miss by almost a touchdown and I'm only giving up 1.5, that's the direction I'm going to go. We heard the home numbers. Give me Ole Miss. I will take the Rebels minus 1.5 at home. I think Kiffin has got something cooked up for this one, and I think the Rebels will win this ball game. Game 4, we move out to the Big Ten, and we are going to the West Coast for this one. Ohio State travels to Seattle to take on the Washington Huskies. 2:30 p.m. Central Time on CBS. Ohio State currently a 9.5-point favorite, consensus total of 52.5. That thing has come down when it opened at 10. You can get an 8.5 out there as well. Ohio State is coming off of a bye. This is the first Ohio State trip to Seattle since 2007. Buckeyes 4-0 straight up, 3-1 against the spread in the last 4 meetings with Washington. Ohio State is 20-0 straight up, 13-7 against the spread after their last 20 byes. Washington 1-5 against the spread as a home dog against ranked teams. They have not been in that position since 2023. In Washington, they have a 22-game home winning streak. Yeah, 22 games in a row that they have won at home. It's pretty wild. Looking at this, this number was a lot lower than I expected. I've got Ohio State by 6.18 as far as the stat spread. My power rating has Ohio State minus 6.5. So I'm looking at a score, and my total is way above the 53.5. I've got 38, almost 39 points for Ohio State to 32.5 for Washington. That sounds interesting. Washington number 11 in PPA margin. Ohio State number 8. Washington last year, if you remember, had fantastic advanced stats, but turned the ball over. It didn't turn into wins a whole lot. Is what it is, right? Both of these teams are undefeated right now, both 3-0. Ohio State 2-0-1 against the spread, and at least according to the closing line, Washington is 2-1 against the spread. The Washington defense is okay. This is another one of those where you've got a really good Ohio State defense and a really good Washington offense. And then you got an okay Ohio State offense against an okay, but probably worse than okay Washington defense. Strength on strength, weakness on weakness, right? Ohio State has played a significantly stronger strength of schedule, but maybe that's only because they've played Texas. I guess Washington number 128, and they have played a whole sack of nobodies. So it's kind of hard to see exactly what this team is. Damon Williams has been really good. They are number 4 in predicted points added per drive. They're number 6 in offensive success rate, number 2 passing, number 9 rushing. The Ohio State offense is number 13 overall in offensive success rate, but number 69 passing, number 70 rushing. And I know you ask, how can that be possible? What are we talking about? Look, they are number 7 in yards per pass attempt, number 5 in QBR, but they're not very explosive, and they're good on passing downs, but it's mainly because they can be explosive, but they don't hit it all the time. Third down attempts per game, Ohio State number 134. They're number 39 in third down conversion percentage, number 74 in fourth down conversion percentage. Yeah, that'll give you something. That'll give you something. Ohio State number 6 in 5 factors rank. Washington is number 28. everybody wants to go Washington here. I get it. They absolutely poured it on late against Washington State. That was a 31-24 ball game in the fourth. I think they won 59-24. I mean, they got interception returns. They got all kind of stuff. The turnover margin flipped big time. Takeaways per game, number 29 for Washington now, which is the same thing for Ohio State's defense. And Washington does not turn the ball over. Number 12 in giveaways per game. Ohio State, number 47. Washington, number 41 in penalties per game. Ohio State, number 9. You start looking at things like scoring opportunities per game. Number 84 for Ohio State's offense. Number 16 for Washington. But points per scoring opportunity, that's... I need to check that. I think I've got that set wrong. Washington 5.5 on points per scoring opportunity, and Ohio State 5.38. Washington's defense 5.5 in points per scoring opportunity, and Ohio State's offense number 14 at 5.38. So they're able to finish drives. That's certainly good. I think this Ohio State offense is going to have a lot of success here. I think this is a game where Julian Sayin can really show up, and these wide receivers are absolutely going to have success against the secondary for Washington. I know it feels like a lot of points, and I know that this is going against my number, but I think this is a spot where Ohio State comes out and kind of shows out a little bit. I don't think Washington can hang here. Ohio State is number 4 in overall talent. Don't have that. There we go. So number 4 in overall talent, and Washington is number 30. And when you start breaking it down by position group, Ohio State, they're in the top 20 in each of these position groups. Washington's line of scrimmage, I don't think is going to be able to hang here. Same with the skill positions against the opponent back 7, etc. It feels like Ohio State just has some major advantages that Washington can't hang with. So, the best number I can get out here is 8.5. I'm going to go with the Buckeyes. This is a bit of a contrarian play. A lot of people on Washington right now. I'm going Buckeyes. Give me Ohio State minus 8.5 in Seattle.
Why struggle doing everything yourself? On Fiverr, you can hire professionals for just about anything. Marketing, editing, design, and more. Save time, get it done right. Click the link in the description to get started.
All right, if you haven't already, go ahead and like the video, subscribe to the channel. We're trying to get to 15,000, and that would certainly help out if you go ahead and because there's a lot of y'all that watch, but you haven't hit subscribe yet. So do that for me, and jump in the comments. Tell me what your picks are on these games. I want to know what you think about these as well. Check out buymeacoffee.com/winningcures, or so long as the URL is working, domain name, bettingcfb.com. That's what you can do there. It's $5 a month, $50 for the year, and you can get these sheets for yourself over there. I put all of them up on Mondays, so go ahead and check them out if you would so kindly. Along with that, the podcast. Yeah, I put out some audio-only podcasts as well, so leave a nice 5-star review over there if you would. On to game number 5, and we're back over to the SEC, where Auburn is headed to Kyle Field to take on Texas A&M. A&M right now a 6.5-point home favorite, total of 51.5. This one at 2:30 p.m. Central Time, God's time zone, on ESPN. And good gracious, let's go over the trends. Auburn won last year at home, 43-41 over A&M in 4 overtimes on the Plains. A&M, they are off of a bye this time. They had a huge win at Notre Dame. It was the first win in, 15 years against a ranked opponent on the road. Home team is 4-0 straight up and against the spread in the last 4 in this series. A&M, 7-2 straight up, 2-7 against the spread at home under Mike Elko. That's wild. That is just absolutely wild. Auburn, of course, coming off a just brutal loss to Oklahoma, gave up 10 sacks in the game. Yikes. Just bananas. Would not have expected that, but either way. All right, as I said, the spread on this is A&M minus 6.5, and they are rested, and Auburn is certainly not. Auburn is beat up, banged up. That was a tough game. against Oklahoma on the road. Now they are on the road again, and you're looking at the number 11 overall talent roster per on-3 for Auburn, number 10 for Texas A&M. A&M number 1 in strength of record, Auburn number 12, A&M number 19 in current strength of schedule, Auburn 72. I find that interesting, but some of the teams that Auburn has played have been atrocious. A&M has played UTSA, Utah State, and Notre Dame, and all those teams are at least pretty good. You know, Auburn let South Alabama hang around with them, and then South Alabama went last week and got beat at home by 3 touchdowns by Coastal Carolina, who looked like it was just a dead program walking. So, all right. Some of these numbers would really surprise. I mean, these two teams look very, very similar. Number 41 in PPA margin for Texas A&M, number 46 for Auburn, 38 on offense for A&M, 36 on offense for Auburn, 58 on defense for A&M, 55 on defense for Auburn. So where are the edges? What are we looking for? A&M, number 92 passing success rate. That's not great. But Auburn is number 84 in passing success allowed. Here's the biggest issue. Number 71 rushing success rate for A&M. Well, Auburn is number 2 against the run on defense. So that's certainly something. Auburn can't throw the ball. That's okay. That's the weakness, I guess you could say, for this A&M defense. Number 42 in passing success allowed. You start looking into this, A&M's offense, number 36 in offensive explosiveness, but they allow some pretty explosive plays. Auburn was able to generate some explosives. Like Cam Coleman is going to get open in some of these spots. Number 120 in offensive explosiveness, and they are 123 in defensive explosiveness allowed. Now, where do they have problems? They are number 101 in rushing explosiveness allowed, number 84 in passing explosiveness. Well, A&M is number 22 in passing explosiveness on offense. So that's a spot where you could maybe see Reed throwing the ball up for some of these really good receivers. I mean, Concepcion, however you say it. He is going to be able to get open against this Auburn defense at some point. That is going to happen. A&M number 7 in havoc allowed. Auburn number 44 in havoc created. We'll see. Auburn not great at forcing turnovers. They're number 78 in takeaways per game. Well, A&M doesn't turn the ball over much. They're 26th in giveaways per game. They're also number 116 in takeaways per game. So Auburn has been pretty good, number 6 in giveaways per game, so they don't turn the ball over. And A&M is not going to force them to turn it over. So this might be a pretty clean ball game. We'll see, obviously. We will see what happens because 117 in penalties per game for A&M, 124 in penalties per game for Auburn. Auburn is going to be able to run the ball some. A&M number 135 in rushing explosiveness allowed. But they're number 22 in offensive line yards allowed, number 42 in stuff rate. They're number 68 in yards allowed per rush. I think Auburn's going to be able to run the ball. Like, they may not be super explosive, but it's certainly going to be there for them if they can generate anything like that. A&M is number 14 in 5 factors rank. Auburn number 31. You know, you start adding in talent and whatnot. A&M number 7, Auburn number 17. I worry about this. Like, I think that Auburn, after a game like they had against Oklahoma, how much do they have in the tank right now? My guess would be not very much. My number says A&M -8. My power rating has A&M -7.5. My total is about 10 points over the total here. And look, my total formula is out there. It's out there. Auburn is slower, number 95 in plays per minute. A&M number 33. So Colin Klein has got them kind of moving the ball pretty quickly. I think we could see a lot more points than we saw with Oklahoma and Auburn. This is going to be a fun ball game. But if I can get A&M at less than a touchdown, that's the direction I'm going to go. Give me A&M. This will be 4 straight favorites for me. Give me A&M -6.5 at home. This kind of sets up like when Missouri came in last year to Kyle Field. Auburn, tough game, dealing with that. A&M is rested. They got all the emotion of the Notre Dame win out of their system. Now you're rested, you're focused, you're ready to roll. I think A&M hands it to them. Give me A&M minus 6.5. Let's go to Friday for Game 6, and we are talking Big 12 this time. TCU headed to Arizona State. They're going out to the desert for this one. Arizona State is a 2.5-point favorite on Friday night. Total of 54.5. This one, 8 p.m. Central Time on Fox. Perfect spot for this to be played. Friday night, oh, love it. These two have not played since 1975. TCU 3-8-1 against the spread as a road dog. They were 2-0-1 against the number last season in that spot. So before that, they were, good gracious, 1-8 before last year. So they have certainly started trending in the right direction. Arizona State 4-0 against the spread at home against the Big 12 last year. Arizona State only 2 spread losses last year, and those both came before their bye week. And here we are in this situation where Arizona State plays this one, and then they get a bye week. TCU had a good win over SMU just last week. Arizona State had to kick a last-second field goal to beat Baylor. And now Arizona State opened as a 1.5-point favorite. That's jumped out to 2.5 in some spots. 56.5. That total has come down to 54.5, and that is right in line with what I've got it projected as. 54.28 for the total. I've got TCU power rated 1.3 points better than Arizona State. I've got TCU 2.61 points better as far as the stats projection is concerned. So let's look at, Arizona State number 68, strength of schedule, TCU number 108. That's certainly something to pay attention to, especially this early in the season. The TCU defense, number 98 in predicted points added allowed per drive. They are number 10 in PPA on offense. Arizona State, pretty equal for both. Number 53 on offense, number 60 allowed on defense. The defensive success rate for both of these teams is not very good. TCU number 83 in defensive success allowed. Arizona State number 96. Arizona State not very good against the run. TCU, that's not their bread and butter. They throw the ball a lot more. But Arizona State is number 80 in passing success allowed, number 107 in rushing success allowed. I think both offenses are going to have some success here. TCU, at least on defense, they're okay at stopping the run. The problem is that teams run the ball 49% of the time on TCU. They're throwing the ball a little more than that on them, and the TCU defense, not very good at stopping the pass. Number 119 in passing yards allowed per attempt, number 118 in QBR allowed, number 109 in PPA allowed per pass. So that TCU defense, if you're going to score on them, it's typically going to be through the pass. Well, Arizona State's offense, not very good passing the football. They can still run it. Number 40 in PPA per rush. Well, TCU's defense is number 80, but yards allowed per rush. Arizona State is number 30 in yards per rush. TCU number 33 in yards allowed per rush. So that's something to pay attention to. Offensive line yards, Arizona State number 28. TCU number 115 in offensive line yards allowed. TCU number 123 in stuff rate. And Arizona State number 79 in stuff rate allowed. So there are some spots where TCU can do some things. As far as the defense for Arizona State, number 80 in QBR allowed. Well, TCU is number 13. Josh Hoover is lighting it up. I mean, these guys and the wide receivers for TCU, I mean, they are just world beaters. They are so, so good. Passing explosiveness, TCU is number 5. Well, Arizona State's defense is number 80 in passing explosiveness allowed. Again, Arizona State is okay, number 29 in yards allowed per rush. TCU is number 33 in yards per rush. You start looking at PPA per rush, that's predicted points added per rush. TCU is number 69. Arizona State is number 78 allowed. So Arizona State's defense, not great. Not great at all. and this is where it really starts to sink in. Arizona State, number 69 in 5 factors rank. TCU is number 37. Now, if you toss in talent, Arizona State number 55, TCU is 31. TCU's roster, number 26 in overall talent rank, Arizona State number 52. Now, Arizona State is at home. That's certainly going to play into this some, but I've got home field advantage already thrown into my numbers here. We hadn't looked at intangibles yet. Turnover margin and penalties, Arizona State 113 in penalties per game, number 27 in turnover margin. TCU, number 39 in turnover margin, so there's not much difference there, but they are number 65 in penalties per game. So 2 less penalties per game. And penalty yardage per game, I mean, we're talking about almost 10 yards difference between these two. I feel like TCU is the class of the Big 12, and I don't think other people see it yet. Arizona State, emotional win last week. TCU, obviously emotional win, but they were able to run away from that rival. Arizona State had a last-second field goal late in the night. I'm going to go TCU. I feel good about this. TCU, I think, has some advantages here. I will take the Horned Frogs plus the 2.5 is the best number I can get right now. I'll take TCU plus 2.5. I think they win the game outright.
Are you looking to catch your favorite team or concert live? Ticket Smarter makes buying tickets safe and simple. And with our promo codes, you save big. Use WCE10 for $10 off an order of $100 or more, or WCE20 for $20 off $300 or more. Grab your tickets now at Ticket Smarter.
Again, like and subscribe if you haven't already done that. On to game number 7, and we're back over into SEC country. We're going to Fayetteville because Notre Dame is traveling to Arkansas, and currently Notre Dame a 6-point road favorite, total of 64.5. Yes, that's right. That's a lot of points. A lot of points, and my projected total says that's not enough. I've got 67.5 for a projected total. I've got 36 to 31.5 for a projected score here. Before we do that, it's 11 a.m. Central Time on ABC. So we're starting off the morning with this one. Arkansas coming off of a last-second loss to Memphis on the road. Arkansas also a last-second loss to Ole Miss the week before that. Both of them, they were driving to score to win the game and fumbled deep in the opponent's territory. So, first thing we'll look at is turnover margin. Number 91 in giveaways per game. Well, Notre Dame is not much better. Number 83 in giveaways per game. But Arkansas, at least, is pretty good at takeaways per game. Number 37. Notre Dame is number 78 in takeaways per game. So something to pay attention to on that. Looking at these stats, it's the first ever meeting between these two. Found that interesting. Since 2004, Notre Dame is 3-0 against the spread at the SEC. That's a pretty wild number to me. Road games versus P5 teams. Notre Dame 15-5 against the spread, 16-4 straight up since 2020. In that same time span, Arkansas 6-24 straight up, 19-11 against the spread against ranked teams. So this is one of those teams that very rarely gets the win over ranked teams. But man, they hang in every single time. 19-11 against the spread against ranked teams. Sam Pittman 22-12-1 against the spread as a dog with 9 outright wins. That's pretty good. But also goes to show that he's been an underdog a lot at Arkansas. A lot. So they are very comfortable being in this position. That Notre Dame defense is not good, is it? Number 118 in predicted points added allowed per drive on defense. Number 122 per play. They are number 104 in defensive success rate allowed. Number 123 passing success allowed. Arkansas can move the football. And if they don't drop it, they're going to put points up. Number 8 in offensive success rate. Number 7 passing. Number 7 rushing. They're number 11 in offensive PPA per drive. Notre Dame is 33 in offensive PPA per drive. So both of these teams, really good offenses, really bad defenses. I wonder if this total that I've got, 67.59, I don't think that's enough. to be completely honest. I mean, it's ridiculous. These are both top 30 rosters. Notre Dame, number 6. Arkansas, number 28. Notre Dame, really good at the discipline stuff, number 16 in penalties per game. Again, the turnovers, that's a problem. But they do have a freshman quarterback, and here he is going on the road again. Penalties per game for Arkansas, number 71. You start looking at things like scoring opportunities per game, points per scoring opportunity, third down attempts, third down conversions, fourth down conversions, da-da-da-da-da. Neither team very good at converting fourth downs. Number 124 and number 117 in fourth down conversion percentage. That is atrocious. Arkansas has not been very good on third downs, but they don't attempt a lot of them. They're 63rd in third down attempts per game. Pretty crazy. Yeah, pretty crazy on this. 5 factors rank. Arkansas is better than Notre Dame in this. These are the factors that weigh into whether or not you win a game, right? And you can go look it up, old Football Study Hall article, but I turned it into a metric. Arkansas is number 40. Notre Dame is number 89. The things that it takes to win a football game, Notre Dame is just not good at right now. That's incredible to me. They did finally get a win last week, so that's good. But can they do enough of those things? We'll see. Yards per attempt, passing. Notre Dame's defense number 109 in yards allowed per pass. Arkansas is number 34 in passing explosiveness, passing explosiveness. Notre Dame is number 123 in passing explosiveness allowed. Jeez. I mean, it's bad juju. Notre Dame is number 93 in offensive line yards allowed. They're number 101 in stuff rate. Number 125 in standard down predicted points added allowed. I mean, I don't even know what to say. Like, the current strength of schedule for Notre Dame is number 1. Arkansas is number 27. Yeah, Notre Dame has played Miami and Texas A&M and Purdue. You know, Arkansas has played Ole Miss, Memphis, and Arkansas State, so it's not quite the same. But I still think Arkansas is going to be able to put up points, and you know they're going to be fired up. They've lost 2 straight games. Backs are against the wall. They're at home. My power rating actually has Arkansas favored by half a point. My projected stat spread has Arkansas by 4.4, 36 to 31.5. And as I'm looking at these, I've got to go Arkansas. Like, 6 points is crazy on the road when you're looking at these stat profiles. Give me the Hogs. I'll take Arkansas. I think they're going to win the game outright, but I will certainly take 6 points here. Arkansas plus 6 is the direction we're going on the show. Back over to Big Ten country for game number 8 here, and USC is traveling over to Champaign, Illinois to take on the Fighting Illini. And USC is a 6.5-point road dog, total of 59.5 on this. It's 11 a.m. Central Time, God's time zone, on Fox. Big noon kick is going to be there. And Illinois is going to have to come into this after just freshly getting their brains beat in by Indiana last week. And I am talking 63-10 was a complete debacle. And I will go ahead and tell you, like, my stats, my power rating has USC by 5.5. My projected stat spread has USC by 13. USC is insanely efficient on offense. They are so smooth. I watched that whole game against Michigan State. I went back and watched some of the other games that they played earlier. They make everything look easy on offense. I mean, it is wild to see. Now, they have played the number 109 current strength of schedule, but Illinois has played the number 100 current strength of schedule. Duke has not been very good, and Illinois, honestly, stats-wise, probably should have lost that game. 5 turnovers is a lot. You know, they did what they were supposed to do when somebody gives you the ball 5 times. LSU did not do that against Florida. So there is something to say for that. But Indiana just bashed them and bashed them. I mean, it was atrocious. Here is my issue with this. Okay, before we get into trends and everything else. USC does not they just don't cover the spread when they travel to different time zones. I believe they're now 0-14 or 1-14 in the last 15 after they did not cover when they came over to Purdue. And now it's a body clock game. Because you're talking about a noon Eastern kick. Well, that's 9 a.m. body clock for USC. And this is the strongest opponent that USC has played to date. Now, granted, they're getting them when they're limping in, so that helps. The total on this is 58.5. My total on it is like 72. Probably going to stay away from that. But the only reason is because I don't know what USC is going to look like early. A 9 a.m. body clock game sucks. Like, that sucks. Oh, here we go. Since 2013, USC 1-13 straight up and against the spread in the Eastern or Central time zones. That's ridiculous. Under Lincoln Riley, USC is 5-11 against the spread on the road. So that is something to pay attention to as well. Illinois, one of the big issues here, defensive success rate for Illinois, number 125 passing success allowed. They are pretty good against the run. And USC is really good running the ball. Number 9 in PPA per rush, number 2 in yards per rush. They're number 1 in rushing success rate. They are not super explosive, but part of that's because they can get 7 yards every time they run the football. So you don't have to break off long ones. They're number 1 in offensive line yards. Illinois is number 64 in offensive line yards allowed. As far as passing the ball, though, that's an issue for Illinois. Number 120 in PPA allowed per pass. They had DBs dropping like flies in that Indiana game, especially early. And it just, Fernando Mendoza, what was he, 18 of 20 passing with 5 touchdowns? That was crazy. Absolutely crazy. I'm not going to spend long on this because I don't feel good about any of it. I don't know what the numbers mean. Yes, USC got a good win over Michigan State. They turned the ball over once. Let's look at turnovers. Number 20 in turnover margin. Illinois, number 13. So both of these are pretty good at taking care of the football. Penalties per game, Illinois, number 41. USC is number 99. So that is something that we could see be a big part of this game. Opponent first downs by penalty. USC is number 130. So they give up a lot of first downs to opponents by penalties. But, man, when you look at 5 factors, like number 12 for USC, number 35 for Illinois, you start looking at first half point margin, number 4 for USC, now number 91 for Illinois. This is because of the time, because of where the game is, all of that, I'm staying away from it. But for show purposes, I'm getting USC at under a touchdown. I'll take USC. Road favorite, I know. Body clock game, I know. I think USC is way better, way more talented. I think Lincoln Riley's got the ship fixed. It's floating in the right direction now. Overall talent rank, by the way, USC number 19, Illinois number 46. Yeah, I'm going to go USC here. USC minus 6.5. Give me the fight in Lincoln Riley's to take down Brett Bielema. They are banged up after last week. USC heading in the right direction. I expect good things. Give me USC.
Stop guessing and start winning. Stokastic provides advanced data and strategies for DFS players and bettors, built by pros who know how to find edges. Click the link in the description and sign up today.
Game number 9. And again, like the video, subscribe to the channel. Go check out bettingcfb.com if you want these stat sheets. But game number 9, we're staying in the Big Ten. Indiana is headed to Kinnick Stadium. They're going to take on the Iowa Hawkeyes. Good gracious. Indiana currently a 7-point favorite, total of 49.5. That has come up to 50.5. Typically, you don't see overs taking money with Iowa games, but alas, here we are. And my number agrees with the line movement. My projected total here is 60.6 on this. I've got Indiana power rated by almost 10. I've got a projected stat spread on Indiana by 15. So we're looking at a score of like 38 to 22.5 or 23. Man. I mean, that's a wild number to be looking at for Iowa at home. This Iowa team has not performed up to the level that I thought that they would. And the biggest issue, they are number 32 in offensive success rate. But they are number 135 in passing success rate. Jeez. I mean, that just... this Iowa current strength of schedule is number 80. Indiana is number 117 because the only team with a pulse that they've really played is Illinois. And Illinois, by the time Indiana got done with them, did not look like they had a pulse. 63-10 last week was a debacle. Iowa got a win at Rutgers last week. Their only loss on the season was in Ames. It was a last-second field goal that they lost to Iowa State with. Iowa State's stat profile does not seem like one of an undefeated team. I will say that. But regardless, they are undefeated. So Iowa, the only loss they have on their schedule is to an undefeated team. We'll say that. Iowa cannot throw the ball. Number 96 in QBR, number 108 in yards per pass attempt, number 93 in predicted points added per pass. They are number 135 in passing success rate. That is next to last in the country. They are number 136 in passing explosiveness. They are pretty good at havoc allowed, number 11 in havoc allowed. They don't turn the ball over. They're number 16 in giveaways per game, but they're also number 125 in takeaways per game. They have not generated a lot of turnovers, so they're number 61 in turnover margin. Indiana is number 13. Indiana is good at everything. The only thing they appear to not be good at is rushing explosiveness, but at least when they are giving up rushing explosiveness, we'll say that. They are not big on passing explosiveness on offense, number 126, but they are number 12 in yards per pass attempt. They are number 18 in passing success rate. They don't have to be explosive. They just methodically move it down the field on you. Like, this team is number 5 in offensive success rate. They're also number 5 in defensive success rate. They are fantastic. Both of these teams play super slow, which is why, even though my projected total is 60, I would expect this number to not go any higher than about 52. And then I would expect some buyback, because we're talking number 119 in plays per minute for Iowa's offense, number 120 for Indiana's. So if they're both taking their sweet time with getting plays to the line, and both defenses should theoretically be pretty good. Iowa number 44 in defensive success rate. They are number 53 in defensive PPA allowed per drive. The only difference is that Indiana might start clicking, and this could be, it could be blowout city. And there's a chance of that. I wouldn't expect it in Kinnick, but we should be getting close to dark by the end of this game. So maybe there'll be a little bit of Kinnick magic, but that'd be about the only hope that I've got for Iowa. There's a big difference here. 5 factors rank, which are the things, the intangibles that win you football games. Indiana is number 5. Iowa is number 56. We're talking a massive, massive difference. Indiana is so good. Like, this team is so good. It's just weird to look at it because number 49 in overall talent, Iowa's number 45. But Kurt Cignetti can coach his ass off. He's so good. But maybe Kirk Ferentz has got something drawn up for this. I don't know. They always come up with something on special teams, etc. Both of these teams are tied for 10th in special teams efficiency. So I wouldn't expect a lot of mistakes from Indiana. The fact that this thing is at Kinnick is the only reason that this spread is not double digits, in my opinion. But I don't expect very much here. We didn't go through some of the trends. Let's go through the trends. Iowa, off of a Friday win at Rutgers. We already talked about that. This is the first meeting for these two since 2021. Iowa is 8-1 straight up, 6-3 against the spread in their last 9 versus Indiana. 8-1 straight up. Good gracious. Over the last 5 years, Indiana 5-1 against the spread as a road favorite. They were 3-0 in that spot last year. So that's something to pay attention to. Indiana crushes teams on the road. You remember what they did to UCLA early last year, and that kind of let everybody know, man, like this team is for real. I am going Indiana. I know that sounds weird for me. I am the Iowa apologist. I'm the one that believes in Iowa when nobody else does because I trust defense. I trust special teams. I just think this Indiana team is a completely different kind of team. They do not make mistakes. They do not beat themselves, and they play with anger and ferocity and all kinds of things. Indiana -7 is the play. And our last game for this video, Tennessee is going to Mississippi State. That's right, we're back to the SEC for this one. And you might be shocked to realize that Mississippi State is 4-0 straight up and 4-0 against the spread. That's right. That's right. This one's at 3:15 p.m. Central Time on the SEC Network because there's nowhere else to put it. There's so many big games this weekend. So many big games. Tennessee is an 8.5-point favorite right now. Tennessee opened as an 11.5-point favorite. That has been bet way, way down. Total of 62.5 on this one. My projected total here is 73.38. Maybe would it surprise you to have a whole lot of points between a Jeff Lebby offense and a Josh Heupel offense? With Blake Shapen and Joey Aguilar? Nope, wouldn't surprise me in the slightest. Right now, State has played the current strength of schedule, number 91. Tennessee, Syracuse looks pretty good. That opening week win looks pretty good there. The loss to Georgia, totally forgivable, especially in overtime. So Tennessee's current strength of schedule, number 28. Looking at some of the trends, Tennessee won this game last year in Knoxville, 33-14. That was a different version of Mississippi State, I will say that. It's the first trip to Starkville for the Vols since 2012. State 0-4 against the spread in their last 4 SEC openers. Tennessee 3-3 against the spread as a road favorite since 2023. And let me tell you, the last 3 times that Tennessee was a favorite of more than a touchdown on the road and the opponent was not Vanderbilt, Tennessee 0-3 straight up in those games. Just something to pay attention to. Looking at some of these numbers, PPA margin, Mississippi State number 13, Tennessee number 18. The Tennessee defense certainly leaving something to be desired. They are number 84 in yards allowed per pass attempt, number 94 in QBR allowed. Well, Mississippi State is 24 and 28 in those metrics on offense, respectively. Passing success rate for State, number 23. Tennessee is number 55 in passing success allowed. State can be explosive passing the football. They're number 9 in passing explosiveness. Tennessee is number 55 in passing explosiveness allowed. And they let Georgia get some pretty huge passing plays against them. State, I think, has better skill and maybe a better quarterback. That remains to be seen. But that potential is out there. State can run the ball some. Tennessee is number 120 in stuff rate allowed. I found that shocking. They're number 54 in offensive line yards, number 98 in rushing success rate allowed. Would not expect that. Like, I expect for their passing numbers to be down because their top 2 starting quarterbacks have been out basically the whole season. That makes sense to me. What doesn't make sense is, Tennessee is number 14 in yards allowed per rush, but they're number 98 in rushing success rate allowed and number 120 in stuff rate. So they're not getting any push with their defensive line. They're number 53 in PPA allowed per rush. State's going to be able to move the football some. On the other side, this is where it could get tricky. Like, Arizona State showed that you can absolutely run the ball on Mississippi State. Now, State is 33 in PPA per rush. but they're number 68 in yards allowed per rush. Tennessee, typically they run the ball a lot. They're running it 51% of the time right now, so they are throwing it quite a bit. Almost 49% of the time they're throwing the ball, and they are pretty good at throwing it. Number 13 in PPA per pass, number 18 in yards per pass attempt, number 17 in QBR. Well, State's defense is actually pretty good at defending it. Number 8 in yards allowed per pass attempt, number 21 in QBR allowed, and number 25 in passing success allowed. Tennessee can be explosive, number 15 in passing explosiveness. Well, Mississippi State is number 25 in passing explosiveness allowed. I think that Tennessee is going to have to try and run the ball quite a bit here. Mississippi State is number 98 in offensive line yards allowed. Let's look at some intangibles. Turnover margin, State's number 13. Tennessee is number 61. Tennessee number 91 in giveaways per game. They are decent at taking the ball away. So number 37 in takeaways per game. That is something to pay attention to. Looking at penalties, you get scared off by Mississippi State at number 135 in penalties per game. That's 10.3 per game. But Tennessee ain't a whole lot better. They're number 93. And Tennessee's the one that's going to be on the road. You look at scoring opportunities per game, points per scoring opportunity. Like, both of these teams, Mississippi State's number 20 in points per scoring opportunity. Tennessee's defense is number 127. So if you get into scoring, or into a scoring opportunity, into the 40 against Tennessee, you're going to end up with points. And most likely a touchdown. Let's double check that. Yeah, Tennessee defensive red zone touchdown rate, 77%, number 117 in the country. At least with Mississippi State, defensive red zone touchdown rate, number 27. It's pretty good. But State, when they get down there, number 15 in offensive red zone touchdown rate, that's something to pay attention to. Tennessee's pretty good at scoring when they get in the red zone as well. This is a weird spot. Like, Tennessee is the more talented team, number 12 in overall talent rank. Mississippi State is number 24. But as far as just how they have played thus far, Mississippi State has looked like the better football team. Number 7 in 5 factors rank for State. Number 33 for Tennessee. I'm getting 8.5 points. I know it went from 11.5 down to 8.5. Until it gets less than a touchdown, I'm riding State here. So for show purposes, for sure, and maybe a best bet over at bettingcfb.com or buymeacoffee.com/winningcures, give me Mississippi State plus 8.5. I think they could shock everybody on Saturday, and that would put them at 5-0. Nobody had that on their bingo card. I guarantee that. Bulldogs plus 8.5 on this one. All right, let's recap my predictions, my picks against the number on the 10 biggest games of Week 5 coming up. Oregon plus 3.5, Georgia minus 2.5, Ole Miss minus 1.5, Ohio State minus 8.5, Texas A&M minus 6.5, TCU plus 2.5, Arkansas plus 6, USC minus 6.5 on the road, Indiana minus 7, and Mississippi State plus 8.5. Again, all of the official plays and whatnot over at bettingcfb.com or buymeacoffee.com/winningcures. Subscribe if you hadn't done that right here on the channel. Subscribe to the podcast as well. Like the video and jump in the comments. Tell me who you're picking this week. Tell me what numbers I should be looking out for. I'm curious. Very curious. You guys have been absolutely fantastic. Every week, you're supporting. I'm enjoying it. I love this community. You guys are fantastic. With that said, take care of each other, or take care of yourself, take care of each other. God bless college football, and hopefully all of your tickets cash this week. Thanks for listening to Winning Cures Everything. Subscribe, leave a review or comment, follow at GaryWCE on X, and check out the web store,